Hello and welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Halima Abdullah and here is our news in brief. Begin in Abuja, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved increased funding for key national intervention programs, allocating 115 billion naira to the Presidential Amnesty Program, while proposing an additional 5 billion naira for the Safe Schools initiative in the 2026 budget. The Amnesty Program, created to reintegrate former militants in the Niger Delta, has been credited with helping restore relative calm in the region. However, concerns around transparency and accountability have remained part of the public conversation. Meanwhile, the Safe Schools initiative, launched in response to the Chibok schoolgirls' abduction, is under review, scrutiny as lawmakers question its impact amid continued attacks on schools. Analysts say increased funding may be necessary, but only strong oversight will ensure both programs deliver measurable results. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it has registered more than 3.4 million new voters in the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise ahead of the 2027 general elections. INEC's data indicate that young people and women make up the bulk of the new registrant, with Jigawa, Lagos, and Kano recording the highest numbers so far. The Commission says the figures remain provisional and pending data cleanup and verification. Now to security. A new report shows Nigeria's northeast recorded nearly 2,000 improvised explosive device incident, IEDs, between 2017 and 2024, underlining the persistence of insurgent threat in the region. The report identifies roadside bombs as the most common tactic. Security officials say the devices are evolving, increasing the risks to civilians and complicating military operations as well. And in the economy, the World Bank has raised concerns over Nigeria's 4 trillion naira power sector bond program, warning it could intensify fiscal pressure. The bank notes that converting long-standing debts owed to power generation companies, GENCOs, into sovereign-backed bonds may provide short-term relief for the sector, but it would also increase public debt exposure, requiring careful financial management and credible reforms to prevent further liabilities. And on opportunities, ECOWAS has opened its 2026 recruitment exercise, advertising over 30 roles across its institutions. The regional bloc says the positions cut across administration, finance, legal services, and program management. Applications are open to qualified candidates from member states, including Nigeria, and close April 30th. And on the international scene, authorities in Nepal have issued an arrest warrant for former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba over alleged corruption. The warrant is part of a wider anti-graft push by the new government. Deuba has denied the allegations, describing them as politically motivated. We now join Gladys Emmanuel for business news.
Hello, Halima. Here are the top business stories making the rounds. The Lagos State government, in partnership with the World Bank and First City Monument FCMB, has launched a $500 million Human Capital Opportunities for Prosperity and Equity Governance program to improve public service delivery in basic education and primary health care. The program adopts a results-based financing model, moving away from traditional input-focused budgeting, with funds released only after measurable improvements in services are independently verified. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said the initiatives aims to ensure every naira spent improves residents' lives, emphasizing access to quality education and primary health care across Lagos State. Electricity distribution company Discos in Nigeria collected over 200 billion naira in January 2026. leaving a revenue gap of over 131 billion naira, NERC reported. Only 26.20 billion naira of the 336.43 billion naira energy value was billed, with a 76.34% cash recovery. Customers failed to pay 63.46 billion naira of bills, limiting funds for maintenance, upgrades, and fuel, which contributes to today's frequent outages and load shedding. Analysts warn that without better revenue and correction and reduced system inefficiency, electricity reliability will remain under pressure nationwide. And on the international space, Kia plans to boost its investment by 30% over the next 4 years to $27.95 billion, focusing on vehicle electrification, software, and new businesses. The company also cut its 2030 businesses electric vehicles sales by 20% to 1 million units, citing weaker demand and the removal of US EV subsidies, causing shares to drop by 4.2%. Kia will launch test versions of its software-defined vehicles by the end of 2027 and plans a semi-automated driving model in 2029. Followed by an autonomous robot taxi in 2030. And that's the latest for business and global markets. I am Gladys Emmanuel. We'll be joining Halima and Abubakar for newspaper review after the break. Stay with us.
Come back from that break. Now on the newspaper review with Abubakar Turaki, where we'll be bearing two major stories from two different platforms, starting with where the banner headlines that state that opposition explores options as ADC PDP questions INEC's neutrality. If you look at that story, just a brief before we go into discussing what that means for Nigerians as the 2027 election approaches. That's 1 week after the registration or the recognition of the African Democratic Congress ADC leadership by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The party's national leaders yesterday intensified the standoff with the electoral umpire with a protest at the Federal Capital Territory while calling on Nigerians to defend democracy. I think from 2 days ago or so, there was like security beef up around the Central Business District due to the alleged or the protest that they were planning. What do you make of this? This story really touched there that 2027 is something that we should take seriously. What do you make of it?
Well, 2027 general election is going to be an election that is going to decide the future of over 200 million Nigerians. So this is something that they should not play with it as a Nigerian. That is why for the past 2 weeks, the calls, yearning and aspiration people have been mounting on INEC with the registering of ADC leadership, the recognition. So they have been trying to get more sympathy from Nigerians, and you know, sometimes in Africa and developing countries, elections come with an intensify pressure from the people that are in the power and from the people that are trying to get into power. So these are all political permutations ahead of 2027 general elections.
So you mean to say the ADC is trying to lobby Nigerians and get their sympathy? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, I think looking at the top level of politicians that joined the protest yesterday, what do you make of, there are too many bigwigs in the ADC, people who decamped recently, people who decamped before this time that we're seeing, and when the electioneering campaign period is coming closer and closer, do you think that they will be able to make any difference and be able to get out of this quagmire before they've got less than 2 months or so to put their everything's in order?
It's all about how ADC played their own card. And if Nigerians can remember, during the period between 2013, 2014, and 2015, a series of protests, calls have been going on in Nigeria that brought the APC into government. So this is exactly what ADC is doing.
You mean they are towing the same path as that at the time of the late General Muhammad Buhari?
So they are doing the same thing, and I believe if they continue to play their own card, maybe, only God knows, maybe they will get sympathy from Nigerians, and they have been saying that they are here to make change. In fact, one of the slogan of yesterday's protest was "Safe Democracy in Nigeria." So these are all kind of political calculation from the opposition whenever they are trying to whenever they are trying to snatch power from the ruling party.
Yeah, I saw a lawyer made a post saying we should never trust these people that are the company that are in the APC because their interest is what matters, because their interest was not served in their previous political parties. That's why they're looking for another platform to serve their interest. Is that supposed to be true?
Of course, from 1999 to date, Nigerians will testify to that. We have been recycling the same number of politicians. They have just been what we call political cross-carpeting. From this political party to political party B, from this political party to other political party. And this is to tell you that when it comes to interest, especially African leaders, they can go extra mile in pursuing their interest. Only God knows what is there, and only God knows why are they pursuing that thing, because they really have that interest, and they believe if they continue to mount pressure, because I have seen recently they are calling on the international organization in order to look at what is going on, because the likes of Dino Melai, former senator from Kogi State, he have been calling INEC that INEC is a department from the APC, which when they were in the opposition, that was 2015, they have been using the same tool, they have been using the same weapon to defeat PDP. They are the same tactics.
Really? So do you think Nigerian people see ADC as a second or third force? Because there is no opposition, if you see. People think opposition is dead. That's what's going round in every space if you check.
In a democratic rule and in a democratic settings, opposition can never be eliminated. We will only have opposition that is weak.
Can never be eliminated, but in Nigeria it seems like the opposition is
We still have opposition, but what we have, there's a weak opposition. Those are weak opposition that does not even have value, because from all indication we have seen where allegedly people are alleging the ruling party, whenever you are trying to go against what the ruling party want, they may likely have a kind of a court case, they will likely send to destabilize you. We have seen, that is an allegation, that is why I say allegedly. We have seen how Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, when he was in APC, he was actually living in a very comfortable comfort of his zone, but when he decided to cross carpet to ADC, it was now when the court case started.
Let's move on to the second paper, The Punch, where a report claimed that Northeast recorded nearly 2,000 explosions in 7 years. That's massive. 7 years from today is definitely maybe 2019 or maybe early or late 2018. What do you make of this, considering the wave of recent attacks that were in mosques, there were some in December, etc.? This is really an eye-opening report for Nigerians, especially people living in the Northeast. And if we consider that these things are really getting to the economic side of northern parts of Nigeria, and if they say a total of 1,934 improvised explosive device incidents were recorded, it means it must have touched a lot of people, their livelihoods, the way they see life, the way they move around, etc. So if we're going to put this in perspective, what should this report do for us as Nigerians, and what should it do for relevant authorities that are supposed to take actions?
Well, to me, I think these numbers are actually underreported. I believe maybe if we can at least go and conduct another research from another dimension, the number of attacks may surpass this. Okay. Because looking at the Northeast, 6 states, which comprises of Gombe, Bauchi, Adamawa, Taraba, Borno, the quite number of insecurity there is becoming beyond control. because we have seen a situation whereby when Boko Haram went to Chibok and adopted quite a number of girls, we have seen attack in Yobe, we have seen attack in Yola, we have seen attack in some part of Taraba. It is only some part of Gombe and some part of Bauchi that are relatively living in a very peaceful manner.
I think Bauchi joined the group
that is recently when they discovered
there are villages that people were sacked by bandits allegedly at the time, and the news made the round. I think there were even eyewitness reports. Some people messaged me from Bauchi sending the situation in that state. The gravity we do not know, but if you take a look at the breakdown that says in 2017 alone, there were 381 attacks, which were mostly IEDs and body-borne IEDs and also road and placed one. The report says the road one was much more, but with the 2017 perspective, it says the road placed one was 165 and the body-borne one was 211. Just imagine what level of brainwashing really went into people accepting to be suicide bombers.
You know, sometimes when you are fighting an ideological war, because most of people that are doing this attack, they are actually brainwashed into a kind of like they are being indoctrinized. They are fighting for the sake of religion, perhaps, if they say, as they said. So, like, coping this issue of insecurity is going to be very, very difficult for as long as the government is willing to do the needful. The government can do a lot of things, and this is to tell you how insecurity is becoming uncontrollable in some part of Nigeria. You are thinking of one part of the country. You are thinking of northeast, what of northwest, what of north central, and what of southeast, what of south and southwest.
Yeah, every region it has a peculiar insecurity challenge or a different insecurity challenge. In the north, maybe they're a bit similar, because if you put the north together, it's 19 states and 3 regions, right? Yes. And northwest got the banditry, the northeast, Boko Haram insurgency, the north central also banditry, cattle rustling, farmer-herder clashes, etc. If you go to the southeast, it's totally different. Go to the southwest, there are people that actually created a community kind of protection situation for their people. That's community policing, Amotekun. And even in the northwest right now, there is the community protection guards that started from Katsina State. The current leadership in Katsina started it. I think Kano and Zamfara also follow suit. They looked at the blueprint in Katsina and tried to implement. Kaduna is also on the pipeline, and I believe that should be the kind of synergy that bring change to this insecurity situation. And considering that the current administration at the federal level is looking towards state policing, do you think it will solve this problem in a way?
When you mentioned the state police, the fire is state police is a policy that is actually, I believe Nigerians will welcome that policy. But the perception is, how do the state government aim to manage the state police when it comes to election? Are we really sure that state governors are going to use that thing?
So that should be to say it's enough that we're talking about state policing, and the challenge was just that, will the state government utilize it properly, or they'll use it for their selfish interests, say, for instance? Then the conversation should go around what should we do, what parameters, what strategy should be placed to make sure that the state government does not abuse state policing, since the federal policing system or security system cannot really completely tackle the whole situation that we're in. If you're to leave our viewers with one sentence, what would be your take on the solution to the security challenge?
The solution to security challenges in Nigeria is justice, equity, fairness, transparency, and accountability.
Thank you so much. And that's it on Newspaper Review today. Up next is S24 Reports, coming to you after the break.
During Ramadan and Lent, markets take on a unique rhythm. Traders adjust not just their stock, but sometimes their prices, responding to the needs of families observing these sacred seasons.
Although prices were previously high, they dropped with the arrival of Ramadan. From our perspective as debt sellers, we used to sell one mudu for about 4,500, but now it sells for around 3,000 naira to 3,500 naira. A full bag previously cost about 250,000, but it can now be purchased for less than that. In the past, some customers came intending to buy 3 mudu, but ended up purchasing only 2. However, the situation is now improving gradually.
Lower prices make essentials like dates, rice, and vegetables more accessible, encouraging shoppers to stock up for pre-dawn and evening meals.
But during the Ramadan period, the price has been reduced to 800 naira due to the increase in patronage during this session. We have been able to lower our prices. Similarly, beans that were normally sold between 1,900 and 2,000 naira are now being sold at 1,400 naira to 1,500 naira during Ramadan. These prices reductions were made to support customers and encourage greater accessibility.
Fruit and rice sellers echoed this, noting that the combination of fresh stock and reasonable prices keeps customer coming back even in the busiest hour.
Sales have been fluctuating. Sometimes we experience huge, surprising high sale, while at other times the pace is low. Nevertheless, we remain grateful.
Yet, not every trader changes with the season. Stockfish sellers, for instance, maintain the usual pricing, focused more on supply than on the occasion.
Because it has to do with foreign exchange. And so, people, where they are after what they will eat and be okay, you don't find out that they will not really get concerned about this. So we are having what is known as low patronage.
Despite these different approaches, traders agree that Ramadan and Lent are moments that strengthen community. From price adjustment to steady routines, the marketplace becomes a place where faith, culture, and everyday life intersect.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Political Arena with me, Abubakar Traki, and my guest here is a renowned political scientist in person of Abubakar Ahmad Muhammad. You are welcome to Political Arena.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So, as a political scientist, looking at the political permutation that is currently going on, the political movement and consultation, as one of the strong opposition party in Nigeria, in your own thoughts, what are your projections ahead of 2027 elections?
Well, my projection in respect of 2027 election, I think so far so good. It's showing a dimensional change in Nigerian politics, because you can't compare the 2019 coalition or coming together of political parties with that of the 2027, that is, let me say 2026. I'm referring to the current party in power, that is the APC, and the current coalition party, that is the ADC. The ADC is a coalition of individuals. Likewise, the APC is a coalition of parties that made up the movement. So as far as 2027 is concerned, and this ADC has changed entirely the scope of 2027 election. It has changed entirely. looking at the way things are going on, because currently, with even the tension in ADC, it's clearly showing that it's a result of the masses, that is, let me say, Nigerians, a kind of having interest in the opposition party, that is the respect of the ADC. So that is what is causing all this internal crisis and all that, because if you look at it clearly, it's something that is politically driven. Exactly. From the ruling party and some other mechanisms that are involved. Because even this morning I was coming across a conversation from one of the APC spokesperson. I think the conversation happened in national media, trying to kind of portray or tell Nigerians that they have hand in the internal crisis of ADC. So it shows that the politics has begun, and also surely there is hope this time around for the masses, I think, to have what they want in terms of the leadership of the country.
Okay, party cross-carpeting is sometimes unavoidable whenever it is election period.
Exactly.
We have seen massive politicians decamping from party A to party B, from party B to party C.
Exactly.
Still on the ADC. ADC have actually gathered a lot of prominent politicians in their own party.
Yeah.
The likes of former Vice President, the likes of Atiku Abubakar, the likes of Peter Obi,
exactly,
the likes of Amechi, and many more.
Exactly.
So what are your projections at Labour Party? Who is going to emerge as the presidential candidate?
For now, I think as a political scientist, the way I'm looking at the moves is that first of all, I would like to kind of advise the ADC, first of all, to put aside personal interest.
Will that be possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
Politics is all about interest.
That is why I say personal interests. They should all consider national interests. Because the way things are going on is when they consider national interests, that is when all this thing will happen. Because this thing has happened in 2023, where some coalition come together. In fact, it happens since from 2019, when the same APC, after the coalition, after primaries, a lot of people went out of the party, simply because maybe they are not being favored or so. So the ADC, as a coalition party, they should all the personalities under this party should make sure that issue of national interest is what is on their mind. If not, I think it's just a mere disappointment to the masses.
But looking at the way Malam Nasir El-Rufai is facing a series of trials, don't you think that Malam Nasir pulling out of ADC may likely be a shock that actually been his presence in the party actually give the party more momentum? But now Malam Nasir is not partaking in the activity. What is your thought on that?
To me, looking at it politically, what is happening to Malam Nasir El-Rufai is adding more advantage to the party.
How?
Because all the accusation was on the government and it's political. The trial has nothing to do with the kind of, let me say, even though there may be some element of what they are accusing him of, but looking at the way things are, it's political. Because looking at scenarios of his own political colleagues, if I can cite an example with Yahya Bello and co., their own allegation is far, far, far different from Malam Nasir El-Rufai. But why is Malam Nasir El-Rufai on target? Was Yahya Bello detained for all this while? Why? So it means that there is an issue, there is an issue of politics, of which that particular political involvement in the matter, that is what is creating, that is what is making ADC to have more advantage when it comes to the political ground now.
But Yahya Bello was one time a governor, and Malam Nasir was one time a minister and also a governor at the same times.
I'm talking about the weight of the allegation.
Don't you think that maybe it's just a massive allegation starting when he even joined the active politics?
What has been revealed
there is an immunity.
What has been revealed to the public, that of Yahya Bello is far, far, far more than that of Nasir El-Rufai. Unless if there is something hidden that they do not make it public to Nigerians.
Okay, going forward, youth participation in politics. You'd have been subjected to data boys.
Yeah.
And when someone is actually going to contest, he may just recruit them, and brainwash them, and give them a doctrine to be his boys. What can you say about that?
Yeah, you know, this thing, I think it changes along the way, because this wasn't the youth's involvement in politics of Nigeria. Because if you look at history, all those that were opportune to rule this country, either elected or under military, they are all youths. So it has changed along the way. What brings about the changes? These are factors that were created just for those that started enjoying those the power leverages for them to continue. That is just it. By one, denying them the knowledge. That is education. Denying them that issue of national patriotism. I am an advocate of national patriotism in the sense that, because to my belief, it's only national patriotism that will solve all our problems. Because if you if you bring together all the problems of Nigeria, only one thing, to my belief, will solve all these issues. That is national patriotism. If we are patriotic to this nation, we believe that we don't have any nation than Nigeria. There is no how some of our actions will be the way it is.
Massive borrowing. This government have been borrowing since when it assumed power. And most of the borrowing are actually channeled into creating welfarism for the political elites. How can we cushion the effect of borrowing in our country from the political aspect?
Yeah, but before I answer this question, I would like to ask you a question. Did you come across any benefit from it as a Marxist?
Well, the government have been actually creating infrastructural development, as they said.
Where? We should be frank. We should be frank to ourselves. This is a government that come in immediately before even he entered office. He removed subsidy, and among his reason of removing subsidy, he tell us, we the Nigerians, that he want to he want his government to be in a kind of the issue of borrowing to be at very minimal level. But what we see is something different. So I'm always asking this government, where is the issue? Where is the money of the subsidy? Why borrowing?
But the federal government actually said that they have been injecting more money to the state governors.
There is no impact. There is no any impact we are seeing. They have been so far calling salary. Salary is not, paying salary on time is not an impact. It's not an impact at all. So impact, when you say impact, is trying to, first of all, fixing the economy first, that will enable both national and foreign investment, so that the economy will be boosted. It will address the issue of unemployment. It will address the issue of security, because all this issue of insecurity comes as a result of unemployment and that of issue of education. So there is no any impact in this particular aspect. In fact, people are running from Nigeria.
Maybe that is on their personal interest.
No, it's not personal. They are blaming the economy. There is no stability in dollar. There is no a kind of Nigeria is among the forefront in world producing. There is no a kind of a constant price for oil.
Okay, what are your urges to the government in order to cushion that effect of borrowing? Are you calling them to reduce the cost of their trip? The
issue is not the issue of either cost. It's not the issue of running the government, but it's the issue of they should tell us what they are doing categorically with the money they are borrowing. Because so far so good, what they are saying that they are doing, with the money borrowed, is not visible.
But they have been allocating projects, especially from the southern western part of the country.
Approving a project is different from execution of the product of the project. So is there execution? Execution.
Well, finally, before we go, what are your calls to youth in ensuring 2027 election comes free, fair, credible, and acceptable?
Yeah. Before I urge, this current internal crisis of ADC, so the current one that is on with regard to the leadership of the party, is being caused by a youth.
How?
It's been caused by the so-called alleged. Yeah, exactly. It's a youth. This is a person I know because we are brought up from the same community.
But he was saying that he was legally instituted by the court of law.
But as far as if the youth are ready to change this narrative of leadership style and politics in Nigeria, that behavior he attributed politically is wrong. It's wrong, very wrong. Why will he reveal such attributes at this spot? He should allow, in fact, people coming to his party or people leaving the party, which one will he take?
I think he should go for the former.
The formal?
Instead of the latter.
Oh, why will he behave that way? Because now his behavior may result to a lot of people even decided to, because yesterday from what I heard from Honorable Gudaji Kazore, he mentioned categorically that there is a lot of alternative political parties that the coalition can move. So if such thing happen now, what will Nafi benefit from? This is a political party that has no any political office, elected political office.
But they are gaining momentum.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. This is a political party that has no any political elected office. But the way people are now registering, it should be a kind of something of joy for Nafi Balad that he should be proud of being a founding member of this party.
Don't you think ADC is just a charismatic political party?
Yeah, it's charismatic, but the way things are going, if this issue is not being resolved in a way that it will favor Nigerians, I don't think ADC will still continue. I don't think the ADC will make the target it wants. Because now with the pressure from INEC has removed every details of ADC in terms of their national chairman, secretary, and everything. But
Bola Abdullahi said that they are actually not going to use with the INEC verdict, with the court verdict, that they will go ahead and do their convention.
Agreed, but what about the autonomous body in charge of the electioneering process?
They will still have a way of calling it. And I stated that.
We should understand something about Nigeria. Nigeria, whenever such things, because now my question is, I asked a question yesterday or day before yesterday. Why is INEC behaving that way? Because what court say is to maintain the status quo. Whatsoever the status quo may be, since that is what the court said, at least someone must be there on the portal of INEC to show that he is the representative of ADC. Why not? So I'm not understanding INEC the way they are behaving. Maybe they are being used by the ruling party also. I'm not ADC. I'm not here for ADC. I'm not here for ADC. But I'm talking about the reality and the political phenomena on ground. Let us be realistic.
Well, Mr. Mubarak, we have to draw the curtain of the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for speaking with us.
It's a pleasure.
We look forward to have you more for more political analysis.
Thank you very much.
Ahead of 2027. Because you spoke passionately about youth involvement in politics.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That has been Political Arena. Stay with us for our S24 documentary and report.
Organ donation and transplantation continue to raise critical questions about health, faith, ethics, and the law. In this report, we spoke with an Islamic cleric, a Christian clergyman, a medical doctor, a lawyer, and residents of Abuja. From the religious angle, clerics explained how Islam and Christianity view organ donation, consent, and saving lives.
Organ donation in Islam has seen about two views from the ulamas, and majority of them going that it is halal for a Muslim to donate his or her organ. And organ donation generally can be perceived in two ways. The first being when somebody is alive, and second when somebody is dead. So, and all this has been categorized to be halal based on certain conditions. The first category, when somebody is alive, certain organs in Islam are accepted to be given. And these organs have to be those that will not affect the donor.
Scriptures that talks about organ donation. Okay, you can give organs, yeah. But there are scriptures based on the things, the teachings of Jesus Christ. In John chapter 15, verse number 13, it says, "Greater love had no man than this, and a man laid down his life for his friends." So he showed us that example, laying down his life for mankind to donate body organs, to be able to revive, to save a life. It's okay, by his standards that he has laid for us.
As a human being, I support anything that preserves the lives of other human beings. Anything at all that we will do to save the lives of human beings.
When you talk about this trafficking, this illegal practice, today some people look at it as if it can be a venture, a means of getting rich. And we hear of the unfortunate this thing where they say they take some girls also go and that they take something from their body and then they give them some amount of money, and they also see it as this thing. It's very illegal, it is very wrong, and if the law catches up with you, it is a very serious offense, and you could go into jail for quite a long period of time.
Selling an organ in Islam is haram. It is acceptable for someone to donate a kidney to someone who has a failing kidney, because you are reviving that person. You are giving life to that person. Which a verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah said, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا, that whoever revives a single soul, a single life, is just like he has revived a whole nation or the whole of Ummah.
Now, he says, chapter 13 of John, verses 34, 35, he says, a new commandment I give unto you. He said, love ye one another as I have loved you. It's okay to donate, but it's not okay to sell. If you're doing it on the basis of what Christ has taught, love, which is the motivation, it's okay.
However, there are other donations. There are other organs like the pancreas. I know that the pig, the animal pancreas is very, very similar to a human pancreas for those that have diabetes. And it is medically advised, that you can transplant, the organ to the human being. It's the right of a patient to choose the medical treatment or to choose not to have any medical treatment. In an emergency, what I described first is in the normal situation. I am having malaria or I have a headache, and I come to you as a doctor and you give me medicine. I say, no, I don't want that treatment. I can go away. It's my right as a patient. But in an emergency, it is incumbent on the doctor to do whatever it takes to save the life of that patient. But I know so many cases where doctors have acted in good conscience and they have got into trouble with the law.
On the streets of Abuja, people shared mixed views, support for saving lives, but also concerns about faith and safety.
If it comes to someone that's related to me, someone that I so much love, be it family member or friends, yeah, I can do that for that person. I can't do that for money, but I can do it for love I have for someone.
If I want to donate organ to a person, definitely I will donate it willingly, free of charge, without any financial attachment to it. And if there is any sentiment of money attached to it, I won't do that.
I have to answer in the two places. One, as human. Secondly, as a Christian. Human, to be honest with you, I have to do it. Because same way, if it happens, I'm a victim. And I find out that people are not helping me. How do I feel? I feel bad. So as for me, as human, I have to do it. Especially in terms of kidney. We've had cases like that, where people donate kidney and all that. But finally, the truth of the matter is, as human, you're up to donate kidney, help one another.
Nowadays, like girls and even guys, they actually donate for money. They sell one of their organs for like huge amount of money, like millions of naira. But personally, I feel like I can never donate an organ if a family member is not dying. So even if I have to donate to a family member, I have to be sure that my own life is safe, that I can actually work with one kidney before donating.
Welcome back from that documentary. Now to technology, innovation, and the digital world with me, Aisha Muhammad. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. Nigeria's financial system is under increasing digital pressure as auditors warn that banks are facing heightened cybersecurity threats, raising concerns over the safety of customers' data and financial transactions. Meanwhile, parts of northern Nigeria will experience scheduled power outages as the Nigerian Independent System Operators installs fiber optic infrastructure along the Jos-Gombe transmission line. The project, running from April 9 to May 22nd, is expected to strengthen grid monitoring and communication across 7 northern states. In a bid to accelerate digital growth, the Director General of National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Kashifu Inua, has called for a government-enabled private sector-led cloud model. Speaking at GITEC Africa 2026, he emphasized moving away from the full government funding towards sustainable partnerships, ensuring long-term scalability for Nigeria's digital infrastructure. From Nigeria's digital reforms and initiative, the spotlight now shifts to continental breakthrough, where Africa is making measurable progress in technology, skills, and digital ecosystem. Across Africa, the digital transformation momentum is surging. Google and Upskill Universe have redesigned the Hustle Academy, helping SMEs move from AI awareness to practical implementation, closing the continent's AI skill gap and strengthening competitiveness in an increasingly AI-driven business landscape. Beyond Africa, global tech companies continue to push innovation, strategic partnership, and next-generation AI solution nationwide. Meta has launched MuseSpark, a new AI system designed to power next-generation personalized intelligence, capable of understanding user behavior, preferences, and real-world contexts. Meanwhile, Maroc Telecommunication and the European Communication have opened talks on digital sovereignty, aiming to build and secure resilient digital ecosystem that support long-term economic growth. Finally, Nuran Wireless is seeking $15 million in private funding to expand 4G coverage across underserved regions, signaling ongoing investment in global connectivity. That's it on ICT World. Stay with us after the break. Khadija Mohammed is on standby with entertainment news. Thank you.
And welcome back from the break. And now, let's dive into the entertainment updates for today. The award-winning Nigerian superstar is set to feature on the upcoming album XX by Congolese music icon Fally Ipupa. In what is already generating excitement across the African music scene, the collaboration titled Jam is expected to deliver a rich fusion of Afrobeat and Congolese rumba, blending the signature sounds of both artists into a unique cross-cultural rhythm. Fans are anticipating a smooth synergy between Wizkid's laid-back Afrobeat style and Fally Ipupa's melodious rumba influence. The album, scheduled for release around April 2026, underscored the growing connection between West and Central African music industries, with observers saying such collaboration continue to break regional boundaries, expanding the global reach of African sounds. Meanwhile, the Cross River State Governor Bassi Otu has announced plans to collaborate with reality TV star Sultana as part of efforts to strengthen the state creative industry. The governor made this known while receiving the Big Brother Nigerian finalist during a courtesy visit, where he commended her performance on the show and described her as a positive ambassador for the state. Otu noted that the creative sector remains a key driver of economic growth and cultural promotion, adding that his administration is committed to positioning Cross River as a hub for tourism and entertainment. In her remarks, Sultana expressed appreciation for the warm reception and pledged to use her platform to promote the state's cultural heritage, including the renowned Carnival Festival. The proposed partnership is expected to open new opportunities for young creatives and further enhance the state's visibility on the national stage. And now let's move into the international space. The pop stars BTS will soon take to the stage to kick off an 85-day world tour. their first since 2019. Their super loyal fans have been waiting for this full-flown concert with RM, Jin, Sugar, J-Hope, Jimin, Vin and Jungkook belting out their hits along with electric dance move. The act took a military service, also using the time for solo projects. Some worry BTS is straying from K-pop as it pursues a global legacy. And all eyes are on the world tour, which will bring them to more than 30 cities across 5 continents over the next year. And finally, pop star Rihanna is trending after sparking fresh pregnancy rumors just a year after welcoming her 3rd child. Photos circulating online appear to show a possible baby bump, leaving fans shocked and divided over whether the singer may be expecting again. The speculation has gained traction across social media, although no official confirmation has been made. Rihanna, who shares her children with rapper A$AP Rocky, is known for making bold and unexpected pregnancy announcements, often at a high-profile event. For now, the reports remain unverified, but the buzz continues to grow on social media. And that brings us to today's entertainment update for today. Coming up next is the sport news after the short break.
Welcome back from that break. Here's your latest photo updates for today from across Nigeria, Africa, and the world. We begin in Nigeria, where Rasheedat Ajibade has emerged as Nigeria's most valuable female footballer, underlining her growing influence in global women's football. The Super Falcon star continues to attract international attention as Nigeria women's game gains momentum on the world stage. Still with Nigerian football selection, debates continues to thrill the Nigeria's national team, with Peter Odemwingie backing Samuel Okonkwo for inclusion. Meanwhile, question persists over Paul Onuachu's role as the team prepares for a Unity Cup clash against Zimbabwe's national football team. From national team martyrs to domestic scene, Asisat Oshoala has praised newly promoted sides, including Inter Lagos, calling for stronger investment in Nigeria's domestic league. Her comments come amid renewed focus for improvement, the structure and visibility of the NPFL. Now to Europe, when Nigerian stars and major clubs are making headlines, Ademola Lookman impressed on his return as Atletico Madrid defeated FC Barcelona at Camp Nou. Elsewhere, Paris Saint-Germain secured a 2-0 win over Liverpool FC, piling pressure on Jurgen Klopp. In transfer news, Chelsea FC are reportedly preparing a huge offer for Vinicius Jr., while Arsenal FC continue their push to sign Dani Olmo. Beyond football, the global sports stage is equally active as the iconic The Masters tournament has officially teed off in Augusta, with top golfers battling for the one of the sport's most prestigious title. In basketball, the NBA playoff race is reaching a climax, with teams fighting for final seeding positions ahead of postseason. In boxing, a series of international fights begin today, headlined by IBF super middleweight clash between Alces Iglesias and Pavel Silyagin. And in major global trend, women's sports are projected to surpass $3 billion in revenue in 2026, highlighting rapid growth in audience and investment worldwide. From Nigeria's football development and rising stars to Europe's high-stakes clashes and packed global sports calendar, action continues to unfold across every level of game. And that's your sports update from Nigeria, Africa, and the world.
Thank you, Halima. May we quickly carry today's story from government budget enter election gist, finish and for international matter. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don carry pen, sign better money for key projects wey go help the country for the 2026 budget. Inside the money, the president allocates 115 billion naira for the presidential amnesty program, make peace for Niger Delta continue today gidigba. Even though many people agree say the program don't help small, plenty eyes still dey on top the money. Make them for no waste time. At the same time, the government don't propose another 5 billion naira for the Safe School initiative. This one na because lawmakers they fear say school children never safe reach, as bad people still they attack schools since the time them carry Chibo girls. Expert talk say even though the money good, government must to look the work where make the money no enter voicemail. On top election matter, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, talk say since they move for the new voter registration, them say more than 3.4 million new people don't register because of the 2027 general election where they come. Which is sweet pass for the Tory BCA. Now young people and women boku pass for the list. As it stands now, Jigawa, Lagos, and Kano, now them get the highest number of new voters. However, INEC say may nobody jubilate yet, as them still need to clean the list, make double names no day inside. For the side of security, one new report don't come out show say wahala still there for Northeast. Between 2017 and 2024, them record almost 2,000 bomb incidents for that side. The report say these bad people like to hide bombs for roadside to blow motor. Security chiefs talk say the way they make these bombs don't change, and they're very dangerous for both our soldiers and the people where they live for there. As we look the side of money and economy, the World Bank don't raise alarm over the 4 trillion naira BC where Nigeria want turn to long-term loan, maybe they pay us small for the power sector. The World Bank won't say even though this plan will help the government small for now, if it later turn heavy debt, join the one where the country get before. Them advise say make the government